Cool. Go ahead.
Because I feel like there's
Alexa, pause music.
I feel like there's never really been a way for women to make money as quickly as OnlyFans created the ability to make money.
Wrong. Prostitution. That's since the
But
beginning
I'm saying,
of time.
no, I'm not that. But that falls within the constraints of something that's kind of rejected by normal society. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in general society, if I go in to meet your mom or I go to a family function and I'm like, hello, I'm a prostitute and I'm a stripper and I have an OnlyFans. What do you think everybody's vibe's going to be on me? You might have somebody that's like, okay, I won't judge her at all and I'll love her unconditionally and get to know her before I make a firm judgment.
I agree.
But you're also going to have people that are like, oh, she's OnlyFans. Oh, she's getting it for money. Oh, she's whatever. And so but unfortunately, the society that we have today, I get why so many girls are rushing to make OnlyFans.
Because they're caring less and less and less about stuff like that.
And they're also adapting to kind of like what society has made for themselves, because it kind of went from to where, let's just say an example, you are a nice little housewife, right? Don't curse, you stay faithful and loyal to your husband, you have like a little job, but you're mostly a housewife because you want to make sure your home is nice, you want to make sure you can be there for your kids and give them all the attention and nurture that they need so they can be successful, be there for your husband, yada, yada, yada. But how do you make in that situation like thousands upon thousands of dollars as quickly as one can with some of these girls that can make an OnlyFans? And it's convenient. You don't have to go to work. You don't have to drive anywhere. You can literally, I could go to the bathroom and take a picture of my butt.
You could be in
and
your
make
bed.
$500, $1,000 right now, $500. Or I can go and work and, apply somewhere, and I can go to college and I can become a secretary, or I can work for a bank or work for a law firm, whatever. But I'm going to have to spend a lot of money for college. I'm going to have to spend a lot of time before I can get to the point of making
the level
that
of
money.
even the chance to get it to make that much money. Here's what I look at OnlyFans as. If for someone who's thinking about doing it, if you can't make a substantial amount of money, don't do it. Because obviously once you do it, you will be limiting yourself to relationships, to jobs in the future, to things like that. So if it's not something that you already got like 100,000 followers and you can easily make like, super bank and like get out the game, I would even say just not even do it.
I mean, it's something that you can't walk back from, because once those images are out, they're out.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of girls are like, oh, well, there's no way you can screenshot this or anything. You can literally take another camera or another phone and just go through everything and record it from that. And yes, it's terrible quality, but that doesn't matter. If somebody wants to see it, they're going to want to see it. And
that's a little Snapchat trick one of my friends taught me to. It was like,
I was like, do girls really think that, oh no, it's safe, nobody, if they haven't paid for it, can't view it? That's absolutely false. There's been so many girls' private content
out there and
comes out eventually, and like once it's out, it's never just hidden away forever. Someone can always have, and you don't know, like you might think at 20 years old, 25 years old, you might think, you know what? F everybody, I'm just gonna make money. I don't care about anything. I don't care about what people think of me. I just want to make money. But then what happens when you hit 40 years old and you want to go into teaching, or you want to go into politics, or you get super spiritual and you want to lead a church group? Like, do I think people should judge you based off of having an OnlyFans or doing adult content?
Nope.
No. Because you could be a wonderful and beautiful, amazing, respectful person and still make that content, because that's the only access that you know of as of right now to make that money as quickly as you can. So I get it. I understand it 100%. I just worry about like the psychology of these girls and these women who get so used to the quick money because of their body and the way they look. Because what happens if something happens to you, you get in a car accident? Okay,
not even that. What happens when you hit 35? I
don't think that's a problem, because people like MILFs and
it definitely goes down. That's what
honestly,
I'm saying.
I feel like you can make good money on OnlyFans probably well into your 60s if you take good care of yourself. If you take good care of yourself,
I definitely don't
think
agree.
someone would pay for it. I think someone would buy the older content.
The older content,
because you could market to that content, like the guys that are like, granny's goodies. Like they want to see that.
No. But I'm looking at it as a bigger picture type of thing. Meaning, like, the more popular it becomes, the more competition there will be. So literally, if let's say girls are first starting OnlyFans and it's like $30 a pop, But then another girl comes along who's just as attractive, but then she does 25. Okay, now you got to lower your price to match her price or match the price. Now it's 25, 25. And then another girl comes along and it's 20. So it's going to get more and more and more and more competitive.
Or what you're willing to do, because I feel like at first it starts out, because a lot of them make more money off of like their tips from like the individual messages.
It's the messages that they send people. Yes.
Like a guy will be like, "Hey, will you wear like some Braves lingerie or Falcons lingerie? I'm into that. And would you like tear it off on your kitchen counter?" And so it starts off with that. And then somebody wants to see you sucking on a banana. And then somebody wants to see you putting that banana somewhere else. And then, like, it keeps going and going and going. And once, like, I think there's definitely a liability of being addicted to the quick money.
Yes.
And being addicted to, and not really processing, like me, as somebody that processes everything and analyzes all my decisions and choices and everything that's going on around me, I think about, like, do I really, honestly, would I feel comfortable knowing that any guy in town, anywhere I go, they have access to see me in a very vulnerable state, regardless of the money? Because you know what because I feel like the money changes everything, and it is probably pretty stupid for me to say, like, don't worry about the money, just worry about your soul. That's probably dumb for me to say, but at the same time, I feel like I wouldn't be being true to myself to cut apart from spirituality and say, like, maybe you should kind of at least consider and keep in your consciousness that when you sign up to do that kind of work, anybody at any time is able to see you in one of your most vulnerable states.
Okay.
Anybody. Like, if you want to get a job at a really nice firm, or if you want to be, like, taken seriously by a new social group that you're trying to integrate yourself into, I mean, regardless of what, like, our general culture, the younger people do think, I've been with people that are very, very successful and have millions upon millions of dollars. They are all laughing about that. They're all judging that stuff. They'll say, like, oh, haha, she's making a lot of money. But they don't seriously respect those girls. I've heard the way that business people talk about them.
They don't respect them now. So in like 10 years, 20 years, just like Kim Kardashian, she literally has a sex tape and are getting people out of jail right now and being respected and being honored and being, you know, looked up as a figure to be like. So I feel like now it might matter, but in like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think no one's gonna give a fuck. I don't think no one is gonna care that much that when you were 20 years old, you created OnlyFans because everyone else created OnlyFans.
But also as a rebuttal to that, Kim Kardashian has thousands upon thousands of dollars to spend on PR teams and lawyers and people that their job is literally to make her look as good as they possibly can on the internet. And the average girl that's getting into this type of job, she doesn't have those resources. You know? She doesn't have people that can kind of manipulate the narrative and make it seem like, oh, look at her, but she's also doing this.
But that's a double-edged sword, I feel like, because she's so popular, it's everyone has it. Some people might even have it in a folder that's not on the internet. So she might be, being very, very let me put out this fire, let me put out this fire, but she's so big that she can't put out all those fires versus someone who's not as big. No one really cares. So no one has her stuff everywhere. She might be like, you know what, I don't actually want to do this no more. Let me delete my Pornhub, let me delete my OnlyFans, and maybe like one or two people have it. So I feel like it goes both ways. If you are super famous, of course you will have the money to put out those fires. But if you're not famous, no one's going to care.
I think if you're a young female and you're seriously considering doing this type of content, I just think you really need to seriously think about it because it's kind of like stripping. Some girls have the mentality to do it and escape unscathed. Some girls can do it and they're like, I never did drugs. I never drunk. I just went in, I got my money, I left. And now I'm in a great relationship. I have a good job. I opened my own hair salon, whatever. Like you do hear those success stories. But I've heard way more stories of girls that went into that lifestyle and got hooked on drugs and got into toxic relationships and got addicted to the money. And when they try to get out because they just couldn't, their looks started fading a little bit. They have to kind of, when you go from being able to depend on your looks to having to depend on your intellect and your skill set, it's way different. Well, take away your looks. What job can you get? Take away your looks. What job can you get? And a lot of girls are like, oh shit, I can't work anywhere then, because I've never had, you know, a serious job. I don't have a degree. I don't know how to use WordPress. I don't know how to schedule.
Personality.
I don't know. Like I didn't learn how to develop my consciousness and empathize with people and see them as human beings. And I feel like it's very easy once you get wrapped up into like stripping and escorting and prostitution and OnlyFans. I feel like it's easy for girls to kind of look at guys not so much as individuals who have souls and minds, but you're just money. And instead of looking at you as an individual and respecting you and wanting you to succeed in your own and wanting you to have a happy life, they're just like, what can I squeeze out of this guy? Like, let me concentrate on this dude for the next 2-3 weeks
because I can squeeze this amount of money.
I can get a bag. I can get a new purse. I can get some shoes. I can get a vacation. Food. I can get some dinners. I can get clout. I can get opportunities. But I don't truly respect you. I don't truly care to get to know who you are.
I just respect what you do for me.
And I think that's dangerous. I think when you start looking at a man or a woman as a resource instead of a human individual, I think that's when the territory gets dangerous. And I think that's when we're going to see in 50 years from now, that's when I made the statement that I don't think there's been enough psychological research done on this job and what it does to your mindset for men and women. Because for guys,
it's just like another form of porn.
Guys, because guys,
I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. Nope.
I mean,
at all.
That's like my little Jesus side coming out, feeling bad for him. Because I know, like, at the end of the day, you make your choices. If you don't have the money to be subscribed to 20 different girls on OnlyFans, and you can barely pay rent, and you can't even afford to take a real physical girl in the real world out on a nice date and buy her anything nice. But you're subscribed to all these girls that don't care about you, don't even know who you are, probably don't know what you look like, they don't care about you. You're just a number.
I extra $30.
Like, why would you be willing to throw away your resources and your attention and your time in throwing money into that when you could actually be developing your own self and learning how to build some sort of foundation with another individual that actually cares about you.
Even fuck all that. So because I get what you're saying, that you want to move them, but you trying to move them too much. So you're not gonna fuck, bro. Like, so I look at it as they are just trying to get closer to something that they're really, really attracted to, which I get it. Like, you're trying to get closer to that person.
But don't you think that stems from loneliness?
It does. No, that's my point. So it stems from loneliness.
I haven't signed up to. There's not like one person that I want to see naked or in a sexual situation that I'm willing to even spend $10 on.
Yeah, no,
you know? Like, for me. Because if you want me intimately in a romantical way, I want it to be genuine. I want it to be organic. Like, I want you to actually care about me and know things about me. I don't want, if you're a man, I don't want you to just look at me for my body. If you're a girl, I don't want you to just look at me for what you can get out of me. And I think that's very toxic, and it's going to be unhealthy the longer that goes on. If guys get dependent on focusing on these, like, it's not real. It's an illusion. You're literally just looking at something to solve some sort of temporary hole within you. Whether it's loneliness, whether it's boredom, whether it's like, I feel like most of the guys that are like spending all this money, because they're just like, oh, it's just $20 a month. But when you're subscribed to 50 girls at $20 a month at the end of the year, that OnlyFans bill is going to be pretty high. And then maybe you could look at your bill statement at the end of the year and think to yourself, like, oh shit, I could have taken a business class. I could have invested in myself. I could have invested in a business.
Fuck all that.
I could have.
See, you keep going way too. You could invest in yourself to get bitches like that, to be in your life, into, you know, your real life. But here's the only way that I would get an OnlyFans is if the woman is like, that's their life. For instance, if I really fuck with someone, for instance, you know, someone opened up a bakery down the street and I really like them as a person, I will go buy a bakery from them.
You want to see my cupcakes? And then my cupcakes. Sorry.
Anyway, I would buy a bakery from them to help support them, right? Not necessarily that their bakery is any good, not necessarily that, you know what I mean, that theirs is better than anyone else's, but I would literally support them by going to their bakery. OnlyFans to me is kind of the same thing. I would just be like, okay, let me just, boom, I'll support this person through OnlyFans. And then just maybe not look at it because I don't really care and just help them in that way. Instead of maybe the alternative, which is, here, let me give you some money. See, I don't know. So the only way that I would even ever consider buying OnlyFans is if I really fucked with someone and then I'm trying to help them through whatever avenue that they're trying to go in life. That's the only way I would do it. But that's probably not going to happen.
I mean, I do feel that. And I'm sure, like, in another reality, if I was a girl that had this kind of business going on, I would probably be going into the clubs and the bars and
yourself,
talking to guys, and then they're like, "Can I get your number? Can I get your Instagram?"
No,
like,
you can get the OnlyFans.
Subscribe to me on OnlyFans right now, right now. Subscribe right now, and then I'm just gonna be like, "Okay, cool, $20," and he'll probably forget that he subscribed, and then by the end of the year, I'm gonna make how much money off this dude, and then if he doesn't forget that he subscribed to me and he's trying to message me for like little special pictures that are just for him, I don't know. I feel like I could kind of see where this could go in the next 50 years at the trajectory, and I could kind of see to where it could get dangerous, and I could see I can see to where guys would start to view girls as not like individuals that have they already do that. I know they already do that.
I'm about to say
I already do that, but at least it wasn't as accessible as it is now.
Yes.
Before, you guys felt that way and they knew that, but it wasn't accessible. You couldn't just now in Atlanta, for example, you could probably go to any major venue in Atlanta and one of the girls that's working behind the bar or serving drinks, at least one of them's got an OnlyFans.
But here's what's happening though in the world. Here's what's happening in the world. People are starving. The middle class is becoming less and less. So you are getting poor or you're getting richer. So for women that can't make that money and stay in like the middle class, they use OnlyFans as a means to jump into to make more money. So that's what I feel like is happening in the whole entire world. That's why these women are creating OnlyFans, to help have more money. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be a big issue, like you said, in 50 years where it's going to be dangerous for them to look back and say, oh, I did OnlyFans. You're going to blame me for trying to survive in life for doing OnlyFans. I don't think.
But that's the same argument that like prostitution's had since the beginning of time. It's always been a level of women that didn't have the means to get anything really higher than that. That was the only access right now. Yeah. For me to go out right now into the world and make $10,000 right now,
that's gonna be hard
without getting a loan. I'm probably gonna have to go do something bad for it. You know what I'm saying?
Or something good.
Not something bad, but something that wouldn't be accepted by the local church. Like what the fuck is that? I'm just saying, like, I think that if you do get involved, you need to be conscious of where it could take you mentally.
Yes.
Is this something that's gonna make you see yourself in an unhealthy way that could possibly be toxic? Is this something that's gonna make men look at you as something less? And after 10 years of doing this, like, how are you gonna feel afterwards? How are you gonna feel to know like that your kid could go online with their friends and see like you putting a cucumber up your butt?
Bottom line is, if you make a choice,
and don't say they're not doing that on there, because I know that they're doing that on there.
You be looking. Oh, you subscribe to some OnlyFans.
I heard the grapevine.
Oh, okay, got you. Bottom line is, take accountability for the choices that you make. If you choose to do OnlyFans, understand the consequences of OnlyFans. If you choose not to do OnlyFans, understand the consequences of not doing OnlyFans, of not having extra money, of not having et cetera, et cetera. So all that it is for me, and like what I like to preach on this channel, is just be wary of the pros and cons of your choices. Take accountability of all the choices that you make and move accordingly.
But that should be for anything you do, honestly. Even if you're not putting out sexual content, I think you should always be conscious of what you're putting your mental into and your energy into, and just always think about things, from a future standpoint. Go into the butterfly effect. Think about like what's going to happen if I keep living this life in 5 years? Where will I be? What are the liabilities that could come with it? Well, could I get a random stalker? there's literally been there's multiple girls that I've known that do this sort of content where they do get some guy that just gets very obsessed and fixated, and they'll find out where you work. They'll find out like how they can physically see you, and they'll follow you. And that's something else too, is that you got to realize when you put yourself on the internet, not everybody that's looking at you is just fine and dandy in the head. Some people out here, you could literally, someone can message you and be like, you look so beautiful today, and you can message them back and be like, oh wow, thank you, I appreciate that. And now they're gonna follow you to your job and be like, she said that, she talked back to me. And I just think you should always be consciously aware of what you're putting out, because you never know the repercussions of that.
100%. So,
or what if you want to date somebody? What if you meet somebody that's like super high up in the entertainment industry, or an athlete, and guys that are in very, very big high positions of life, they do consider that sort of thing. Not every guy that's a starting quarterback of a national team is going to consider dating a girl that's naked online for guys for money, that you can send her $50 and get a picture of her wearing whatever color underwear you want right now. And so your dating pool is going to kind of shrink a little bit. Not that you should even want to date athletes, because you know they're out there doing whatever. But I'm just saying, I think that everybody should be consciously aware of what it is exactly. What's the message that you're putting out?
True.
What is the message about yourself that you're putting out? And how do you view yourself? Do you view yourself as somebody that's intelligent and smart, and it's more than just their body, and this is just a way to hustle right now while you're youthful? That's fine. But make sure that you hold on to that mentality and don't sit here and go into a big depression and get anxiety.
A spiral down, and then fucking you know. That's exactly
and I've always been someone that has said that girls don't need to fall back on their looks, because your looks gone like this. Your looks can be gone.
No, I disagree. Because
car accident, looks are gone.
True.
Now what are you gonna do?
No, those are all true. But I feel like
getting a fight at the club, looks are gone forever. Nose is broken, teeth are jacked up, eyes missing.
I feel like you have too many scenarios. I think that's what's already the vibe that I'm getting from you. You have a lot of scenarios in your head, but I think you should fall back on your looks if your looks are good enough to fall back on. For instance, if you are a male, you have a body that has strength to it. So you could fall back on your body that has strength to it. It's nothing wrong with using your body to gain money. For instance, I look at OnlyFans the same exact way as looking at a guy who does manual labor. To me, those are no different. She's using her body beauty to make money. He's using his body to push things and to make money. I literally look at those shits as no different, except for the aspect of she's, showing her body and shit.
I mean, my landscapers aren't squirting whipped cream in their mouths and looking into the camera essentially, but
no, I said
what you're saying.
I know. Besides the sexual aspect of it, those two are the fucking same shit to me. But no, I get what you're saying. Bottom line is, you do have to take accountability for everything that you do. Period. And then you got to take the good with the bad.
I'm not judging it, and I don't know where life could go. I mean, I'm not going to talk bad on it. I've learned a long time ago, never say never, because you could be that girl that I used to be. That girl was like, I would never work at Hooters. Ended up working at Hooters. You know? Yeah. I was that girl that was like, I would never work at the Tilted Kilt, bartender at Tilted Kilt. I was like, I would never work bottles. I would never do this. Don't ever do that, and don't ever judge the people that do that, because you honestly don't know what they're going through. And I have met a lot of girls where that really was their only resource to make that. The amount of money that they can make so quickly and so easily. And then a lot of girls that have kids, you want to be able to spend a lot of time with your kids during the developmental
stage. As well
stage.
as supportive.
And I understand, if you're a beautiful girl, you have young kids, and it's so much easier for you to stay within the confines of your home in a safe environment. You're putting out content. You're able to actually spend time with your kids. You can make your own schedule. I get that. I get the appeal. I'm not ignorant to what the appeal is, and I get it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I would have a lot more zeros in my bank account right now if I was willing to just.
You sure?
Hop right into the OnlyFans game.
See, that's the thing. Hold on. I have to push back on that, because I feel like that's what y'all mistaken. I feel like some of y'all are gonna be like rappers that's trying to make it. Y'all gonna throw your body out there. Y'all gonna throw y'all looks out there, whatever, and y'all not gonna get bought up. So it's funny to see women get I wouldn't call it funny, but it's a very interesting thing to see women get rejected now that OnlyFans is becoming such mainstream that sometimes people actually do OnlyFans and make no money. Like they have photos and videos out there and they make no money. So it's like they put themselves out there and they still make no money. So it's the same mentality for like, you know, everyone wants to be a rapper type of thing. So that's just interesting for me to, you know, think about.
I mean, you should be level-headed, but at the same time, I don't think that we should underestimate any girl and how much money she can make off of just like if she's bad or not, because there's plenty of girls that are making millions of dollars on OnlyFans that are not like the standard of traditional beauty.
No, I know that. Yeah,
like
yeah,
Trisha
I know that.
Paytas.
Yeah.
Trisha Paytas. I don't know if you don't know who she is.
No.
Trisha Paytas, pretty famous person on the internet. Makes millions on OnlyFans.
Okay.
She's kind of not the stereotypical beautiful naked model, but she makes so much money, and she's got so many people that are just like interested in her and interested in whatever they can get out of her because they just like her so much.
Yeah.
So.
Hold on, is that the David Dobrik person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's the girl that used to hang around with him.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. Like a normal guy could be like, I don't like her. She's nothing special. But she obviously must be something special because she's got millions of followers. She's got millions of people that are willing to spend money every month to see her naked. So
the only reason.
So you really don't know. Like it really doesn't even matter what you look like because you could be the most beautiful, amazing girl in the world. But if the actual like desire isn't there from the people.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what's the interesting part for me is to see these things happen because I literally see it on my Instagram. So
you gotta know how to market yourself.
I see, I'm doing the OnlyFans, and then literally 3 months later, I canceled my OnlyFans. I stopped doing OnlyFans. I'm like, so you put yourself out there.
But that brings us back to my general statement. Is like that's why I think girls need to be careful because if you're not serious to go into this, because once it's there, it's there.
Yeah.
100%. Like once those pictures are out there, once those videos are out there, like it's there. There's no coming back from that. And if something ever happens to you and you go to court, and someone's trying to make you look bad, they're going to use whatever they can to make you look bad. No matter what it is. No matter what, we're woke right now. It's 2021. We all respect OnlyFans girls. That's great. Go to court and see how much they respect you. Go to court in front of a regular jury of people and see how much they respect you. Because the general population still kind of looks down on it. Hasn't caught up yet. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. So our generation of younger folk, we're accepting, we don't care, it's nothing new anymore. Like 10 years ago, if I heard somebody had like an OnlyFans, I was like,
yeah.
And now it's just like whatever. Like I'll probably get one day. Like I mean, knock on wood.
Shit, I'm not gonna lie. If I get one, I would fucking get one. Like that is. But yeah. No.
I mean, I hope that I'm able to like make money not doing that. Just and that's not even like judging anybody. That's just like I don't know what it's gonna do to me in my head. I don't know what it's gonna do to me in my head to be out here taking pictures and videos of myself that. I know if my mom were to see that, it would break her heart.
Gotcha.
You know? Yeah. I know that if my family in Panama saw me doing that for money, it would break their heart because they're very spiritual. And so I think about all these things. And I think about my little brothers. And I think about, like, how would they feel knowing that any man... I think about these things.
I see.
I'm not like everybody
You think about
else.
fucking all these scenarios.
But that's what's being conscious. I'm not just worried about me and right now in this moment and getting money because if I was, I'd have a lot of money.
True, but
I wouldn't care.
Here's a push. This might be a different, a totally different conversation. When can that be a detriment to what you actually doing in life?
Well, as of right now, I don't think it's detrimental because I remember how bad I felt about myself when I was working behind the bar.
Gotcha.
And there would be days where we would have to have like lingerie on. And I remember talking to a guy that's like very disrespectful, very unattractive, very just a ugly human being that's sitting there talking about like cheating on his wife and how all of us are sluts and like here little baby, here's $50 and then like throw money at me and make me feel small and make me feel bad about myself and not make me feel like taking myself out as a woman. That didn't make me feel good. Gotcha. That didn't make me feel empowered. I didn't feel sexy being in my underwear in front of all these guys. Like, it made me feel small. It made me feel just not confident in who I am. But there's different women out there.
Yeah.
You have women that are like, woohoo, look at everything, and they love it.
Yeah.
They want you to see it. They're happy that you can see it. They don't. If a guy talks bad about them, a guy calls them a whore, they don't care.
Yeah.
But then you have girls like me, like as we can see, I'm super conscious of everything. I'm conscious about what makes people feel certain ways. What's the energy that I'm putting out? By me putting my body online, am I causing some guy out there to take his attention away from his family or his relationship?
Oh, now you're thinking way too hard.
Yeah.
That's way too deep. That's way
too woke.
No, that's too woke.
Yeah,
that's too woke.
But I think about that.
No, I get it, but it's just that has nothing to do with you. I mean, people gonna do what they gonna do. That has nothing to do with you. But I get what you're saying, that you think about even past you, like much, even everything that, like you said earlier, the butterfly effect of if I do this, then this might happen, then this might happen, this, and this. But that's why I asked the question: when does that actually become a detriment? Because for that example that you just gave, that has literally nothing to do with you. So for you, let's say you base your decision to not do something off of what you just said, you could be missing out on potentially life-changing things, good things. And I'm not talking about OnlyFans, but I'm talking about just things in general. So yeah, that's just an interesting conversation to have, to think about when does that become a detriment.
Yeah, but it's completely up to the individual. Like I said, you have some girls that are like, they have that thick skin, they're cold-blooded, they don't need anybody else, they don't care what their family thinks.
I'm asking you specifically though.
Like about me, I feel like for me personally, I'm connected to so many people, and I am of very much significance in their life, and they look at me in certain ways, and I was a nanny, I was leading church groups, I was co-captain of the cheerleading squad. Like, I was doing all these things that were in leadership roles.
Okay.
And my message to everyone was always like, respect yourself. Don't let people talk down to you. Make sure whatever the decisions you make, think about how they're going to affect you in the long run. Think about how they're going to make you feel. Think about how they make other people feel. Like, my message has always been being conscious of others.
Gotcha.
And being aware of, like, what are you doing that affects everyone around you. And even though, like, I get kind of like laughed at and ridiculed because I'm so conscious and because I'm so like aware of everything around me and not just myself, but at the same time, if you look back at history, the world would have probably been a lot better if people thought about that. For Hispanic people, for Black people. Imagine when things first started changing and someone didn't want to hire you because you're Hispanic or you're Black or you're Indian. And everyone else is like, well, why don't you care? Why don't you just do this? Because that's what's going to help you make more money. But eventually, over time, people came along that were like, you know what? I don't care if it's going to make me more money not to hire Black people, brown people, people of different ethnicities. I'm going to do it because I feel like it's right. And I think that they deserve the opportunity. So that's where being conscious does come into a positive play. And that's when I talk about, like, I don't know what's going to happen in 40 years and 50 years. Like, I haven't seen enough research done on this
to try to even
reality
guess what's going to happen.
It could be great. It could be wonderful. And you could like, every girl when she gets out of high school at 18 might go straight to OnlyFans because it's lucrative. She can stay at home.
It's gonna be too competitive.
Blah blah blah. But then what's gonna happen? Like, if every girl can, why would I, if let's say that whole generation, right? Why would I, as a young 18 to 25-year-old girl, why would I want to go to school and spend thousands of dollars, 6 years getting a degree,
all the time, all the money,
all this time,
just for a chance to make money instead of just making money?
Why not just like, oh, you mean I can go to the bathroom and put a picture of my butt on the internet and make $500? Instead of going and working at this secretary job and only get $500 after a week after taxes.
Exactly.
What's going to happen to the rest of the world eventually if all the girls are going to want to jump to the most lucrative thing instead of like, well, what about teaching? What about being a nurse? What about...
Let it happen.
But I don't think that would be a good society overall.
Let it happen. Because here's what's going to happen. It's going to everything resets itself. There's no such thing as a surplus of what would I call that? Supply without a surplus or decrease of demand. So again, if a lot of, let's say all women decided to do OnlyFans right now, Guys, think about it.
That would be so weird.
Yes, but at the same time, everybody will reset themselves.
Everybody would be broke.
So all the guys would be like, you know what? This girl right here is a little bit more attractive. I'm not gonna buy her OnlyFans. So it's again, everything is gonna reset itself to be like, oh, okay, this OnlyFans thing is, who cares? It's whatever type
But
shit.
then we're creating a society that's just like fixated on your looks and your sexuality instead of like who you are as a person. And I think that could be very detrimental as a whole.
Now
eventually. That's what I'm saying. Like eventually, as a girl, like if you're a young girl and you think like, okay, in order for me to make more money on OnlyFans, I need to get my boobs done.
Yeah.
And now I need to go get that BBL. And now I need to get my nose job.
A lot of strippers do that.
And now I gotta have my makeup perfect. And now I gotta have a personal trainer so my body can be on point. And it's just like it's never gonna end. You're always the journey to become the most beautiful, perfect woman is a never-ending journey. You know, like you're always going to be looking at yourself and wanting to know what can you change, what can you do, what could be better, what's keeping you from making money, what does that girl have over me. And I think that's when it can get dangerous, because once you get set into doing surgeries regularly, what do you have to do when you get a surgery? Got to be on pain medication. You know how easy it is? Have you heard of the opium epidemic and how many people are getting hooked on painkillers? And if we have a whole society of girls that it's normal for every girl to have her butt and her boobs done, that means it's normal for every single girl to have to be on painkillers for a period of time. Everybody's brain is different. Some people take the painkillers, never want to do them again, just to help them heal from surgery. And I know for a matter of fact that some people get hooked on the painkillers.
No, okay, but here's the pushback. If everything is so competitive, when you look at OnlyFans, you're not going to just do it off the cusp. You're going to do it because you know for a fact you're going to make money, or you're going to steer clear, and it's not even going to be an option in your mind right now. Right now, it's an option in people's mind because they know they can make money from it. But if it becomes such a competitive thing that you have to get into, have to be this perfect person, have to spend $10,000 just to get your
or willing to do
done.
More sensually.
Exactly.
Like to do,
exactly. It's gonna make it's gonna
naked,
yeah, exactly.
And now you're
now you gotta be naked, jumping up and down, get a monkey in your hand, whatever. So it's gonna hinder a lot of people from being like, you know what, I'm gonna jump. Nope. I gotta get my nails done. Nope. I'm good. I'm gonna go to school and focus on schooling or whatever the fuck you just said. So that's why I said I would just welcome that shit. Just bring it on so the world can change and then move past that shit. Because everything is just going to reset itself. Right now, it's just taking a long time to do so.
Like I said, I'm just observing it. I can't judge on it. I can see the liabilities. And if any girl came up to me and was like, hey, Danessa, I'm thinking about doing this. What do you think? I would have the same conversation I'm having with you. I'm not going to be like, oh my God, don't do that. That's terrible. You're such a slut. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm literally going to be like, these are the liabilities that could happen to you. Make sure before you put this content out that you're ready to go on that journey. Because once you go on that journey, it's done.
Most of the time, people just look at the good and the glamour and the sparkly stuff. They don't look at all the bad stuff on the back end.
And so that's my only concern. I want to make sure that if you're going to be willing to put yourself in your most vulnerable positions online and you're selling that, you're selling anybody in the entire world that's got the money to subscribe to you, that can message you in the DM and say, I'm willing to send you $1,000 on Cash App right now for you to go do this.
Which is dumb, but go ahead.
If you're somebody that like that's not really you, because it's not everybody. Not every single girl is not this. Like is not the girl to be naked and to be sexual and to have attention. Some girls don't want that. Some girls are very like intellectual and they want to just be by themselves and they don't want everybody to see them. They got little turtlenecks on and little glasses and they're just covered up, and you only see that if you're in a relationship with them, and that's it. That's the only way you're gonna see that is if you're in a relationship with them. You do have those girls out there, right? I don't think there's anything.
Very small percentage.
Girls dying breed, but I don't think that we should be sitting here talking crap to them and hating on them for them choosing that. And I also don't think it's right to sit here and hate on and be hateful and nasty to the girls that are doing this, I'm never going to call any of the girls that do this an ugly name. I'm never going to judge them because anything could happen. I'm not going to judge them because anything could happen. I don't know if something happened to my mom or my family and I got to make money, I'm going to make money. I'm going to protect my family.
That's my whole
I'm going to do whatever I have to do
to
protect, within reason. I'm not going to assassinate anybody, but unless they had it coming. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to, that's why in my head I was like, I would. Like, if it was there, never mind. But yeah.
I'm like, within reason, I feel like when you're pushed to the edge and you need the resources, when you got to pay rent, when your mom gets sick, when your kid gets sick.
Real life hits. Yes.
You don't care.
Yeah.
I might be depressed about this in 10 years from now, but for now, I need this money.
Yeah,
so
you don't care about the consequences
I'm not
because
gonna
the
talk
present
bad.
cares way too much.
I'm not going to talk bad. Anything could happen. I'm blessed right now to be in a situation where I don't have to do this, but things could change.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk bad about it. All I'm saying about it is I want people to be consciously aware.
Take accountability for the choices that you make.
Once it's out there, it's out there. And if you want to be involved with young kids or in politics, it's going to be very difficult if you have certain content out there of you to get a good position in that field. Okay. And that's the reality of the situation. It's not my opinion. It's the reality of the situation.
Okay. And where can they find you?
At Danessa El Rey.
All right.
At Danessa El Rey on everything. Danessa El Rey.
And this is your Patreon episode. This is not even going to be on YouTube. So I'm out. Peace.